Hello, friends, and welcome to another edition of the TV is Our Real Mom podcast. I'm Dave.
I'm Catie.
And here we are to discuss episode 5 of Survivor season 40, Winners at War. And Catie, let's hear your thoughts on the episode. All of them, all at once.
Oh, all at once. I have so many thoughts.
Give us the thoughts. Give us everything.
There's lots of thoughts in there.
Okay.
What would be top of mind?
Top of mind.
Boy, I think voting Rob out it's sad, but it was the right decision because that tribe looked so miserable. Adam looked like he hated his life. It just seemed like the right move.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And then you cut to like the preview for next week.
And they're like, woo!
Taking their panties or their pants.
I don't know what they're doing.
It's a bad word. I'm sorry.
Off.
Taking their bottoms off in the ocean.
Yeah.
Celebrating good times.
I mean, Rob's style of play works with people like Philip Shepard and Natalie Tenorelli, but it does not work with winners.
Right, and it to an extent it did work. I mean,
for a while, yeah.
He had Ben and Adam locked down in the shelter.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know at what point the decision was made. Maybe they had already decided, hey, if we lose, it's going to be Rob, and then the rest was just bullshit. You know, like that was one of my favorite parts of the episode, to be honest, was Rob, Adam, and Ben at the well, and they're like, I'm not writing your name down, handshake, and then they all shook each other's hands. I was just like, this is all such bullshit. Like all of them know how this game goes. Like that means nothing. In the game of Survivor, that means nothing.
And times 100 when you're on this season, it literally means nothing.
Exactly, it's totally meaningless. Yet you still that's the game. You go through the motions. You shake the hand. You're like,
you do because you have to because you're the polite diplomatic player if you're a winner for the most part. But so, tell me if you agree with this or not. I feel like the last 2 weeks, the vote has been telegraphed. Like they barely tried to misdirect.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't think Rob was for sure going home. I thought there was a possibility, but I mean, in this case, with Sarah and Sophie being so set up with advantages, I mean, they really could have swayed that in their favor no matter what. So regardless, I think Rob was the only male target. Mm-hmm. They didn't really have much else to work with as far as the edit goes to show that it could have been Adam or Ben. So, I mean, you're right. It was telegraphed, but there probably wasn't much they could do.
I mean, it would have been. It's right, not right, but probably getting close to the merge. I mean, you got to do it. It's just a no-brainer.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think 3 out of the 4 of us in our fantasy league picked Rob to go home.
Yeah, and that's on a tribe swap week.
Yeah, and that's funny, too, because I think last week when we were trying to think of trying to make picks for who's going home next, I don't think either of us picked Boston Rob.
Well, if we would have sat and thought for a second, when you mix tribes up, you're going to go for a big target, obviously.
Yeah, we obviously didn't think that one through very much.
Well, it was fresh. We had just watched the episode. We were still bummed out about Tyson going home, but now Tyson and Rob get to hang out all day long. So.
Hell yeah. Really bad at making picks on the spot. Just not great at that.
It's a swap week. What are you going to do? No one's good at it.
No, I agree with you. This was the right move to make. I mean, you got to get Rob out of there about this time in the game.
Yeah.
Like, you can't wait much longer.
Yep.
Good move.
Either he goes out pre-merge or he goes to the end. He never.
There's no
makes
in between.
Is like the merge boot unless he gets back in.
Mm-hmm.
He could. I don't know. It's good. There's a lot of competition out there now.
Yeah, he definitely could. We didn't get any Edge of Extinction today, did we?
That's good. I'm really glad because even though I would have wanted to see Tyson getting comfortable, or if you can get comfortable on the edge, but with 3 tribes, there's no time.
Yeah, there was just too much meat in this episode. I mean, I got to be honest with you, Catie. I have a lot of notes on this episode.
I mean, these tribe swaps were such a good shake-up. Like you had to sit and really look at them to be like, okay, like Yule and Nick and Wendell, how lucky did they get? Poor Sophie, but Sophie and Sarah made it work. I mean, that was the one reason I was thinking maybe the Ben, Adam, Rob would stick together because otherwise Red's going to steamroll them come the merge. So I guess Ben's stay blue, stay true thing was a whole bunch of bullshit before the swap.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like the way he said that, though. It was funny.
It annoyed me, but you know how I am with Ben.
Yeah, you and Ben. Long-standing rivalry.
Yeah. I'm not the only one who's got a rivalry with Ben. He's fine. I'm just annoyed that he's still there. It's a principal thing at this point.
He's better in this season, I feel like.
You know who's grown on me big time is Sarah, though.
Oh, yeah. She's like proving her worth time and time again.
And she's such a, like, you get why why everyone said in Game Changers they had such a good relationship with her. Because she's like, well, that secret scene last week with her comforting Kim, and then her comforting Yule, and then her being tight with Sophie, who she didn't necessarily have a tight bond with on the original Decall. Like, she's really good.
Yeah, she is really good. And she is coming across as a more compelling character this season.
Totally.
And she's just further like adding on to her resume of what makes her a strong strategic player. She definitely is like one of the most underrated players of all time. I'm definitely on board with that whole perspective now.
Yeah, I guess when you're playing with people more compelling than Troy Zen and Brad Culpepper, it's easier to like you. When it's Yule and Sophie and Kim and Tyson, it's easier.
And Tony.
And Tony, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
What'd you think about Tony's tribe? That was an interesting mix, too, where Kim was in the middle. Kim got lucky on that swap.
Yeah, I feel like she's in a good spot. Yeah, I worry for Tony and Sandra.
I know, I do, too, because at first I was like... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't have much to say other than, like, between Tony and Sandra, I'm, like, more worried about Tony, frankly.
Yeah, Sandra doesn't look nervous at all, ever. It's amazing to me. It's probably one of the reasons she's done so well. Yeah. I wish I could channel Sandra right now. But at first I was like, oh my God, Jeremy, Denise, and Kim, this is incredible. But then I was like, no, Tony and Sandra. Like, I think I like that tribe maybe the best. I don't want any of them to go.
I know, right? Well, maybe we won't have to see them go anywhere.
2 tribes are going next week, though.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good odds Tony's going home in that one. Oh, that stinks. I'm already sad about next week.
No, we might be all right.
Okay.
But who's the other option? Sandra. I guess Sandra can go. She can go hang out with Robin Tyson.
So it's Sandra, Tony, Kim... Who else?
Jeremy, Denise.
Yeah, I'm actually worried about Denise on that tribe, too.
Denise is going to be fine.
She seemed to slide in with Kim pretty nice.
All the idols are on that tribe.
Yeah, and Denise has an idol, so I can't...
Kim. Sandra, I think, still has one, because it said your next 3 tribal councils, and she has only gone to 2.
Right.
So she has 1 more.
That's a good point. Yeah, all the idols on one tribe. That's insane.
Except now Sophie has one.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Denise would not go home with an idol in her pocket, right? Although that would be fitting, because when is Denise ever gonna know she's going home?
Denise is gonna know.
She's gonna know when she's going.
Don't put that on Denise. That's your winner pick. Don't disrespect her like that.
Well, I feel like she's just the type of player. The only way you're gonna get her out is to blindside her.
You could say that of everyone this season.
Yeah, it's true. I just hope she plays it when she needs it.
Well, if I were her and it was like the tribal council before the merge, I might just be like, gotta make the merge. Let's play it no matter what. We'll see.
So do you think Kim handled that, her spot pretty well? You think she handled that okay?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised she wasn't more forthcoming with Jeremy, which made me believe, because... You know, there was talk they were in the Poker Alliance, however real it was. So she was more withholding with him than I thought she would be, but that's smart. She doesn't know for sure if she can trust him. She probably wants to. And it seemed like her and Denise were hitting it off. But Tony and Sandra, it's so fun that they're still together. They just can't get away from each other.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I don't know do they like each other at this point?
I think they like each other and they respect each other.
Cool. Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's probably like a brother-sister thing. Yeah,
for sure. And then you have the awkward tribe.
Oh, God, yeah.
Just a whole lot of awkwardness going on.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot to talk about on this tribe.
Okay.
So, first of all, let's talk about the Michelle and Wendell thing.
Okay.
Michelle... super forthcoming about it. Oh, it ended badly. She calls it a relationship. He burned me. Wendell, We kicked it. That was it.
Yeah.
And she
But-
did say we dated briefly.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
What happened? I gotta know, man. Come on. Let's get the deets.
I gotta be honest. I was getting a vibe like Wendell
Not into it.
was a player kind of in this
Oh, yeah.
relation. Yeah, he was playing. He was just having fun, and she was like, "I love Wendell," and I think as you.
And
I
he
mean,
was into it for a while.
Yeah, and it was fun for a while, and then he's like, "Man, I don't know about this," and then he kind of dumped her, but he felt bad, so he let her down. Maybe not the best way. Maybe he stopped answering her calls.
I wonder if he Ghost Islanded her.
Yeah, ooh, nice, very great. But no, she even like mentioned the exact quote of the "you up" text.
Yeah.
I guarantee Wendell sent her that text at some point. The "you up" text, booty call, and unfortunately, at some point, Wendell was done with it. She probably wasn't happy about it, as she.
Is her right?
As is her right. So I don't know. I mean, this stuff happens at that age. It's normal. I mean, they're like 30 or something.
Dude,
but that's still young.
Is my age.
Oh, really? Well, Michelle's like 31 or something. 30,
she's like 29 or 30. I don't think she's even 30.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, it is what it is. That's my theory. This is all pure speculation.
Because
pure speculation.
If you remember, during Wendell's season, he was like engaged or something, or almost engaged.
Oh, was he really? I don't remember
and that like somehow it must have ended shortly after his season, so he was probably like on the rebound.
Yeah.
And like you said, Michelle was probably like, "Oh, Wendell," because whatever, it's Wendell. And
with everything Wendell has going for him, I'm not surprised that he kind of for his life, he saw it as like, wow, I just won Survivor. I'm a millionaire. I got
dumped by my girlfriend.
I don't think I'm as into it. No, I'm talking about his girlfriend before.
Oh.
He's like, I think I want to be free right now. I don't think I'm into this engagement anymore.
Could have been.
He saw an opportunity to have a lot, of fun, and I don't really blame him for that.
He could be forthcoming with us though, but he was not. He was like, he's just a closed book, man.
Yeah, but he was really also kind of
awkward.
Having trouble with his words. Like he's like,
we kicked it, and then he just said it again.
Yeah, like someone who's knows they maybe like did something they shouldn't have or something,
Well, he had to know this was a possibility when he signed up. Like he had to know she was going to be out there.
Yeah, he knows what he was getting into. But anyway, that's pure speculation. That was fun. It's awkward over there. The other awkward situation is Nick and Parvati. That was funny. It wasn't that bad. To me, it didn't come off as that awkward, but I can see how like Parvati felt awkward about it. I mean, she's married with children now, and he's like, I used to have a crush on you.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, he probably figured she's going to watch it. I might as well just tell her now. She's going to see it one way or the other.
Yeah. I got no problem with Nick saying it, and it was cute.
He's such a goofy kind of guy. It was fine.
And he's very charming, just a nice guy. You can see how he makes it far in these games. Kind of unassuming, very smart, charming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plays that good old boy role pretty well.
Good old boy. He might do just fine, that Nick.
So what do you think about the Yul and Parvati thing? It seemed like they were basically strangers.
I know, right? That's kind of strange. They were
weird,
like top 6 in Cook Islands or something like that. I think.
Yeah, Parvati, but they were always at odds with each other.
Right, because Parvati was from the white tribe, and
she was on the kind of racist tribe. They weren't racist. They just wanted to all be together.
They were white. Of course they were racist.
Well, I'm just saying it was like the young, pretty white people, and they all wanted to be together, and no one else could be in their club.
Yeah, for sure. And then Yul's like the smart Asian guy. And
didn't fall for her wiles in the hot tub.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I thought it was. And then earlier in the episode, when Yul was talking about the Jonathan Penner thing, that he's not close with anyone on his original cast except Jonathan Penner. And I was like, well, I guess that means not Parvati. And then she didn't even know what his wife's name was. So.
Yeah, very strange. What's
Yeah.
your wife's name? Yeah, so obviously they don't have much of a relationship, which is fine. I mean, I don't know why we would assume they do, but...
Yeah. But I did like Parvati and Michelle sitting on the beach, being all awkward. I don't like how Michelle's, like, making it personal with Wendell, you know? I suppose it'd be really hard not to.
Yeah.
But...
Honestly...
It was kind of funny watching them be like, oh, they're so smug, whatever.
As much as in my early 20s, I was probably more like Wendell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I side with Michelle, kind of. Like, I feel bad for her now. I feel like she
Wendell
thought there was
older.
more.
Wendell is our age, so, you know. Maybe
and he's acting like a kid. What the hell, man?
Whatever. He's sowing his oats. He's feeling himself. It's fine. But come on, Wendell, open up to us. Tell us, give us the scoop. We want to know. Who are you? I don't know who he is.
Right. GB Oira. Is it Wara? Like Oira? Wara or Oira?
Oira. I like Oira.
Oira's fun to say. Okay. He says, or they say, it's so weird that Ozzy, Yul, and Parvati were all naked in a bathtub together in 2006.
Dude, they were also kind of drunk, though. And Parvati was willing to try whatever she could, right? It didn't work.
I mean, that's one of the cornerstone moments of her flirt game coming into fruition. It was almost born in that moment.
It was born in a hot tub. Do you think, so if Yul had not been there, Ozzy probably would have given in, right? He would have been like, yeah, I'm with you, Parv. But Yul was there to stop it.
Probably, yeah. No, it's a good point. Another winning move for Yul.
Yes.
Let's see. What do you got?
What do I got? What do I got?
I got all these notes. I don't even know.
We talked about all the tribes, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Parvati has 4 fire tokens all of a sudden. She's as rich as Natalie. She's a billionaire.
Yeah, I mean, what did Rob have? 2?
Yeah, he gave her both of his tokens because he had one from Amber.
Yeah, and she already had 2. So wow, she's rich.
She's got 4.
What's she gonna do with all those fire tokens?
I don't know. No one in the game has used them to buy anything, and no one on Edge has used them to buy anything. I suppose they're waiting.
They're saving it for when it matters, I guess.
Well, there's only a couple of them that actually have more than one, so.
Also, like, how do you actually use them? Do you just, like, stand up in the middle of camp and go, I want to spend my fire tokens now?
Maybe it's like on the Hunger Games where... No, because that's the stuff that gets sent from the Edge. I don't know. Whatever.
This is a funny moment. I like when they're all walking. It's like... I think it's Ben, Adam, Rob, Sophie, Sarah. They're walking, and someone asks a question, and then Sarah and Sophie at the exact same time, like a jinx, they're like, "Not that we know of," and they said it like in the same, like their voices sounded identical.
Did they? I totally missed that part.
No, that's hilarious.
That was a fun little relationship. I liked, they never really interacted on the original, so it was fun to see them just kind of link up.
They were great together. That's like one of my biggest takeaways of this episode, and part of what made it such a great episode, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I actually kind of feel like this is the best episode of the season, just because it was jam-packed with so much interesting strategy.
Edge.
And the characters, like just seeing these awesome characters come together in new combinations.
Yes.
And just that whole 5-5-5 thing, like Rob said in Tribal, so little room to hide.
Yeah.
Just makes for a lot of scrambling and a lot of desperation.
Yeah. Well, and you get sick of the Cele thing was getting kind of old. You knew what people were going to wear and stuff, and DeCall probably would have been Kim next. So it was a good, perfect time to mix it up, actually. So I'm glad they waited a little bit with this season, didn't just do it after 2 votes or whatever, like they've done in the past. So yeah, I think it was really good. And I like that they skipped the Edge. They're learning, they know when they don't need it. Looks like we get some Tyson shenanigans next week at the Edge, so that'll be fun.
Which is all we need from the Edge. And
just
maybe
Tyson shenanigans, Ethan inspiration.
A solid inspirational Ethan moment once in a while is good too.
Natalie's getting another fire token.
Yeah, all that's great.
Yeah. Amber and Danny are there.
Back to my original train of thought, just that I thought Sarah and Sophie were like outstanding in this episode as far as their like sheer game smarts. Like it was electric, like how good they are in tribal, especially.
They took care of business without being able to talk to anyone all day.
Right.
And they both had advantages. Neither of them had to play them because they knew what was going down. They got the numbers back. Although I guess now it's 2-2.
Not only did they not have to play them, they didn't play them. They made the risky choice of not using them, and they were correct. Yes. I mean, this episode, that vote is like an absolute, without a doubt, home run, slam dunk for Sophie and Sarah. It was like, this is like a game winning moment for one of those two, potentially.
It could be.
Like huge stuff. And like, I just thought their performance, the way they spoke in tribal council was amazing, especially Sophie. The way she could be so direct and honest with her answers to the questions, and yet have it still serve her purpose in the game, or, you know, serve her game. Yeah. Was just so impressive. Like, her stock went way up, and her spot on Legacy Tracker, I think, went way up.
She's gonna go way up. Yeah, those other three boys, they still had each other, and Sophie was on an island by herself, but she somehow, you know, with Sarah, it was definitely a team effort, but they pulled it off.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, we said she found an idol, right? And then so she gave it to Sarah. She gave the other half to Sarah.
So apparently you only have to give them half to activate it.
Right.
They have to give it back to you once it's activated.
They don't have to give it back either. That's the whole point. You have to give You have to give it to somebody you trust in hopes that they will use it with you, on you, or give it back to you. And so far what we've seen for the most part is people are actually making the right choice on who they give it to, and thus their other half is coming back to them like almost immediately. So thus they end up with a full idol anyways, which is kind of disappointing and boring from the perspective of, I think the whole idea here is that you give someone half and then they don't give it back to you. Because I think it was mentioned that Kim already got her half back as well.
Yep. She has a full idol.
Why did Sophie do that? Like, I thought we got the cutscene or the confessional where Sophie's like, I'm the devil. You should have never given that to me. Yeah, and then she's like, here you go.
She knows.
She knows.
She knows that Kim has one. And so Kim's never going to have that element of surprise against like Yul and Nick and Wendell, because Sophie will keep them in the loop, I would imagine, unless it serves her to get rid of one of them without having to get blood on her hands, which I can see also happening.
Touche, salesman. Challenge. That was all right.
That was a weird puzzle. I was like, that's it? Okay.
That puzzle looked hard to me. I was like, how the shit do you figure this out? That it's one of those things that's like elegant in design, you know? So simple in the winning goal, right? But how you get there is so hard. And like almost really all I could think of to do is just like start trying. You just have to
start combos.
Just see what happens. Didn't work.
Oh, do it again.
But at the same time, that's what makes it elegant is, you know, there's an algorithm to it. There's a solution where if you know how that puzzle is solved, you pretty much know how it's solved. And you could get it every time. Possibly very quickly, kind of like solving a Rubik's Cube, you know, the algorithm. But yeah, they were chucking bags at the blocks, knocking them down. Funniest part was, I don't know if you saw this, Jeremy when he whiffed it, he's like, ugh! And then it was like
barely hit the ground.
It was like way underneath, like it didn't, like it had to have been like a shanked, like it slipped out of his hand or whatever.
Do you think he did that on purpose, or was he just messed up?
It slipped or something.
He whiffed it.
There's no way he was like aiming and threw that far off, because
it had to have slipped, because I was like, that didn't even leave his hand barely.
Just on camera, that was hilarious. And then right after that, I think it's on the same tribe, Tony steps up, just bam, one block down, and they didn't cut. They didn't cut. They kept the camera on him.
Kim tried. She didn't get it.
They kept the camera on back to Tony, back to back, knocks off two big blocks with little blocks. Yeah, fantastic.
Tony has an arm. Kim had an arm too.
Yeah, she was destroying that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was right after that we get the confessional with Rob, as you go to commercial and he's like, somebody's got to go home. And
which one of them is it going to be?
It's like,
and
so
that's
arrogant.
what I mean. I feel like it's been so easy to read what's going to happen after the challenge.
Right. I mean, this was like feeling pretty confident that he was the one going home made that confessional kind of entertaining to me.
Yeah. Which one's going to go home? Well, Rob, it's going to be you.
We all
Poor
know
thing.
this. Yep. So when they were at the well trying to figure out what they're going to do, or Rob's basically trying to implement the buddy system from Redemption Island all over again, they started talking about an idle contingency plan.
Did they?
Yeah. That's what
unfortunately, I don't remember it.
That's what I was going to ask you is like, where did they land on that? And is there any room in a 3-on-2 vote to have an idle contingency plan?
That's what I was just thinking. I don't think there is.
Not a foolproof one, but you could go a 2-1, I suppose. And
you could go,
but even then that's
2-1.
Even then that's risky.
Yeah.
Because then you're just looking at a tie if the idle gets played.
Yeah, 2-2-1 wouldn't work. You'd have to go 2-1-1-1.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it would work.
Yeah, exactly. So the discussion of idle contingency was interesting to me, and I don't remember if they ever landed on anything. But I'm guessing Adam was sitting there thinking in the back of his head, like, you do realize there is no way to make that work, right?
He looked so miserable. I just felt bad for him. I was like, I hope he doesn't. And Rob looked miserable too, but the whole reason Adam looked miserable was kind of because of Rob.
Yeah.
And it was kind of good that Adam and Ben were the ones that ended up with Rob, because Ben was the one that didn't like him. And Adam was the one that got buried by him.
Yeah. Yeah. Castrated by him. In Adam's own words.
So, although he was also castrated by Ben, to be fair.
Adam said that. He's like, I was just castrated in public.
Yeah. I thought there might be a wand off about that, but there wasn't. So
that's too
kind
bad.
of a missed opportunity there, guys.
Yeah, we should have done that one.
It's too hard. It's too much work.
Damn it. The Wax Shepherds.
It's too much work.
Let's see here. Lots of talk about Oreos. That
was so awkward. I really liked the editing in that scene where he was talking about being in a playpen. It literally looked like a playpen.
Yeah.
And how they were just quarantined. They were quarantined inside the little hut, and the camera would pan and
Don't use that word right now, Katie.
What?
Don't use that word right now.
Sorry.
It triggers
they were
me.
sheltered. They were stuck. Don't mean to trigger anyone. But yeah, that was really funny. That was good editing. It was also good editing when they were showing the boys, Ben, Rob, Adam, and telling their different versions to Sophie and Sarah of what had happened over at the Sully tribe.
Right. Yeah, and I really like that too.
Yeah.
Who called it the buddy system on steroids again?
Sarah.
Yeah.
That was Sarah.
So, Sarah killing it again.
Sarah really is coming on strong.
Giving good confessional. All
Being
right.
there for people, working well with people. I was really anti-Sarah coming in, but
it's cool to see somebody that you were so into in their first season kind of pay off, because she was my
winner picking Kagian.
Yeah, and she was almost mine, but I ended up picking Wu.
He got further than Sarah did.
But no, I remember being very high on Sarah and disappointed when she got voted out, and then just Game Changers just kind of left a bad taste. I think just because there were they were just some really awesome characters and some not so great ones, and she just kind of fit into that category, got lumped in with those types of characters, and even though her game was phenomenal, for some reason it just didn't deliver for me on an entertainment perspective.
Yeah.
So, but this time,
fun.
This time it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
She's doing very well. Playing well. She's entertaining. What more can you ask for? She's back with Tony. Cops are us. Still there.
Cops are us, baby.
There's still a lot of big targets still there. There has to be some still there.
Bound to happen. Yes, bound to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, Yule's this whole thing about Jonathan Penner and his wife and ALS.
Yeah.
Was that put in the episode just as a tie-in with with that commercial break thing for awareness or whatever?
Yeah, I don't think they wanted people to think that came out of nowhere. I think they wanted to remind people who Jonathan Penner was, because it's been a long time since he's played.
Yeah. I hope
and
that's what it was.
The connection to Yule.
Yeah.
Oh, that's totally what it was, because normally they don't put anything before the swap. They just get to the swap right away.
Right.
So that was unusual.
Because I don't want it to have any implications in Yule's game, whether it's like, oh, let's give Yule a feel-good awareness moment before he goes home next week, or like Yule wins, which is fine. I'm fine with that too. It's just like it's hard to avoid that like edgic thinking that sometimes.
Oh,
I hate
totally. When I saw that clip this morning, and I was like, oh, no.
I didn't know that was like a secret scene or anything or whatever.
They released it because Dalton Ross had an interview with Yule Kwan where he talked about how the reason he wants to raise awareness of it, and that's the other thing, is Yule wants to raise awareness, and he's said he will donate, if he wins, he will donate his winnings, at least partially, to ALS research, because she has kind of that is genetic, and so her kids have a 50% chance of getting it.
Right.
And so he's hoping by the time they might, if they are diagnosed with it, there's more hope for a cure. So.
Right. Yeah, which is awesome. And
as if Yule could become a better person, he's just amazing.
Well, a good friend of mine, one of my best friends in the town I live in right now, his sister just passed away not too long ago from the type of ALS you get after pregnancy, which is also extremely rare. Like it's like less than 1%. Like one of those things. So like ALS, and it can be really brutal, man. And
you're trapped in your own body.
Yeah, Yule is a badass human being for bringing awareness to this, which we could talk about that too. Like, what is awareness? I always like wonder, like, what's awareness? Like, what does that do? But I guess you got to do something, right? You got to try to do something. I was
thinking the same thing, but then I was looking on Twitter, and because of it, a bunch of people had already made donations. So I mean, it did something.
And I hope, and all I can hope is that the money finds its way to the right place. Like, hopefully nobody's skimming off the top. Hopefully this money, because that's what I'm always.
That's always a concern.
I'm always paranoid about that. I just hope the money gets to the right people and it goes to the labs and the scientists, and they can figure something out.
It will.
Just real quick side tangent here. Like kind of in same vein as the awareness thing, on Curb Your Enthusiasm recently, he talked about the word appreciate. Like, people always say, I appreciate it. And Larry's like, what's that? What is that supposed to do? What does that do for me? You appreciate it. Like, like when people say,
why does it have to do anything for you, Larry?
Well, like, I actually kind of get that one, like, it's like everybody, like, you do something that, like, you pick up a friend from the airport or something, and they're like, thanks, I really appreciate it. It's like, okay, you appreciate it.
Would you rather they give you money?
I don't know. I get it. That's all I'm saying. It's funny.
I mean, it's no different than saying, like, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of like, it's this word everybody uses now when they get what they want. They're like, I appreciate it. Okay, you appreciate. Okay. It's almost like a little hollow.
David's and Seinfeld's whole shtick is like just saying something, taking something people say a lot and being like, what does that actually mean? Like, they do that all the time.
Yeah, I get it. It works for me. I love it. Anywho's, Sophie calls Rob an asshole.
Yeah, she really went in on Rob.
Yeah, I don't think
it's gonna be awkward when she gets to the edge of extinction.
Yeah, I don't think she really likes him.
No,
like at all.
Yeah, I don't think she does.
She's like,
well, she's such a cerebral player, so to be with someone who just kind of bullies you into doing something is not the Sophie way.
Yeah.
So I can see how that would get really old really quick.
Yeah, I mean, for someone like Sophie, Rob is a wall that's really tough to break down, like nearly impossible. So, yeah, I get it.
So she tore the wall down, sent it to the edge of extinction.
Exactamundo.
Got rid of it. Boom.
Tribal Council. You got anything to say about it?
I don't remember it.
I liked someone said, maybe it was Adam, that was like, the early stage of the game is about not being terrible, which is like a good way of putting it. It's true. It's like, for the most part, if you get cast on Survivor, not every season's like this, granted, but if you get cast on Survivor, you just try not to be terrible. The first couple votes, you'll probably make it. Mm-hmm. There'll probably be somebody who, like Ben said, somebody who dictates too much, or somebody who rubs people the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah, thought that was a funny way.
But not so in this season.
Right.
Although Rob was accused of being a dictator.
Yes, he was, and he was being a dictator.
Well, he was. You're right. But he needs to go hang out with his wife now. So,
yeah, cool. I kind of thought that just made sense. That's another reason I had a feeling he was going home. I was like, seems about time for Rob to go be with Amber on Extinction Island, because we'll probably see some of that. We'll see that reunion, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They're gonna give us heavy edge stuff next week for missing out on it this week.
There's probably a lot coming up.
As long as we get some Tyson and Ethan.
Well, he says he's doing something hilarious and mischievous, so I think we're in for something good. And I feel like I have this feeling, I don't know if it was from the edit or what, but that it's going to be at Boston Rob's expense.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
So
who's messing with him?
That would be hilarious. We got a question. We got a question from our fan GB Wara.
Nice.
What are your thoughts about Jeff Probst and production postponing the filming of season 41 until May 20th due to COVID-19?
What's that?
Coronavirus.
I'm just joking.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, did you know that's...
As if I don't know.
Did you know that's a version of the cold? Like the 19 is... I didn't know that. Interesting. Anyways.
That's one we've never had before. Anyway, I mean, they have a very international crew, so they got to take precautions, man. That's all they need is an outbreak on the set of Survivor. Then it's going to get postponed or canceled anyway, so they might as well just hold off. They said that if they start filming on May 20th, the airing dates will not be altered. But if it has to go later than that, then they probably will be. So.
Right. Yeah, the whole world is just taking precautions right now because we want to be able to say we did what we could to stop it from spreading too quickly before we could find a way to handle it, which, you know, granted, Trump's speech tonight was written for him and it wasn't the best delivery. I liked what it said. He said, like, we have the best scientists in the world on our side and they're working on it. So hopefully.
That's specific.
What do you mean? That they're working on it? Well, I don't know what else they can say. Yeah, I don't want to get political or anything.
Let's not go there.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is
we've seen the movie where people don't take it seriously enough. We've seen how that movie ends. Let's not live that movie.
Right. So they're being careful like the rest of the world. And until they hear differently, that's just how
it's not going to affect my life if it airs again.
Oh, okay.
If they get it done, start filming by May 20th, we're all going to be fine.
And I know this is terrible to say as a podcaster of Survivor, but like I have always been okay with the idea that this could be the last season of Survivor.
Yeah, maybe the universe is like, hey, Survivor, maybe this should be it.
Just because it's too perfect.
Well, at least we'll get to rest on the...
You can't top this. I'm sorry, you can't.
No, it's every week. It's something glorious, and it's all. At least we get to.
Go ahead.
At least we get to just rest on the glory of this season a little bit longer.
Right, and it has so much to do with the buildup of like you've invested 20 years. I haven't invested 20, but you get the idea. A lot of people have invested 20 years getting to know these people, and then it all culminates when they all come together. And it's like the best of the best playing each other. You can't top that. It takes too long.
No, you literally can't.
It takes too long to build up.
You have to wait 20 more years.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not going to happen.
Although I've heard Australian Survivor is baller, so maybe we should start watching that.
Really? I heard the season started out good, but it's not that good right now.
I hadn't heard anything about this season. I've just heard Australian Survivor in general is baller. Mm-hmm. United Thrive. Never heard from that person before.
Cool.
They
New
said
person.
Rob is a bully in capital letters. Bully.
Yeah, he was. He was. And that doesn't work, Rob. It doesn't work anymore. I hate to tell you. It only works because you were with a bunch of noobs the time you won, which was the 4th time you played. And the other time you played that way, they didn't vote for you to win because you were a bully. So,
Right. And I
rest
mean,
my case.
yeah, if you got Sophie on camera, with a camera in her face
Asshole.
saying Rob's an asshole, and she's clearly like, kind of has some contempt for the man.
Yeah.
I think it says
I think
a lot.
they all did. I think they
Yeah.
all did, but they were scared to voice it.
He's basically just trying to play that strong arm game. But I mean, you know, it's a game for $2 million. Whatever you got to do. I mean, he did what he thought would work, and it just didn't. So tough row to hoe. Is that
It
right?
is.
I was
Yeah.
get confused. I
Tough
wonder if it's
row
road
of the garden
to hoe.
hoe.
Yeah, tough row to hoe for
Tough
Rob.
row to hoe.
Yeah, United Thrive says he doesn't get his way. Nope, not today. Doesn't get his way.
Hey, Rob. Not today.
He got made.
It was nice that he gave his tokens to Parvati and said, make a run at it. That was nice.
Yeah, that was cool. One more funny moment from Tribal Council. Adam struggling to get the lid back on the on the
That's
vote.
like a running gag this season.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just
just
Adam being
klutzy.
kind of a geek.
I don't think we ever mentioned that in the podcast, but there was that scene from a couple episodes ago, one of the early episodes.
Where he couldn't get the torch in
He
the
couldn't
hole.
get the
And
torch
then
in the
last
thing.
week there was being like the butler carrying all the logs and
Yeah.
he falls over trying to get the wood.
Yeah, and then I think
Like, it's just a thing this season.
Ben grabbed his torch and put it in for him.
Well, yeah,
Like-
after Jeff gave him a stealing nod and was like, and then Ben was like, yes,
He's like-
sir.
He's like, Ben, you want to help him out? Sure, I'll
Yeah.
help out the little man.
Yeah. It's just a running gag, I guess, here.
Not only was he unable to get the lid back on the voting receptacle, he shortly thereafter, as he's leaving, admires the decor of the.
Well, he's
like,
looking for something. He's looking for tokens and stuff.
oh, I didn't think of that. That's how little
Yeah, he is.
That's how bad I would be at the game.
No, he's looking for idols or something.
Yeah, he's
but I don't
like,
know why after the first time when you didn't find anything, you keep looking, but he keeps looking. So maybe someday there will be one. And maybe that's giving them the idea to put one there next time. If
Right.
there's not one there this
Very good.
season.
We got a couple more comments here.
Okay.
Lily Major says, who did Rob give his tokens to? I think you said Parvati, right? He's like,
Yeah, he gave both of them to Parvati. They showed it after the commercial, which they normally show it before the commercial.
right.
But
It's like, I hope you make a run at it or whatever.
yeah. Yep. So Parvati has 4.
United Thrive says he or she was surprised that Rob was voted out. I wasn't terribly surprised.
Yeah.
But I
mean, it kind of seems like the move.
Yeah. Seemed like the thing
But-
to do.
They always try to trick you with the editing. For a second there, I thought maybe something weird's going to happen and Sophie or Sarah might go, but they're too smart for that.
Leave EDP says, did Parvati become a millionaire overnight?
Billionaire.
Maybe a double millionaire.
No, like you know how Natalie said she's a billionaire because she has 4 fire tokens?
Oh, there you go. Callback.
yeah.
I don't just get
Parvati's a billionaire now.
I don't just get those. You have to explain that stuff to me.
Sorry.
Well, as you
Survival
did.
Economy.
As you
and
did.
4 fire tokens is like having $1 billion.
Right. Yep, very good. What else we got here? Leave EDP says, who's more vulnerable from each tribe now? Of the 3 tribes, who's the most vulnerable? Or
So
for each tribe, which one's vulnerable?
Would you say Adam or Ben's more vulnerable? Because Sophie and Sarah are good.
I would say Adam's probably more vulnerable.
It's funny because I see Sophie and Adam and I see Sarah and Ben, and that's kind of how it panned out. And so I guess that Sophie and Sarah would have to come together and decide which one they'd prefer to keep around.
Yeah.
Probably Ben.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping they would want to keep Adam. So you're probably right. Adam's probably the most vulnerable there.
Yeah, I hate to
so
say
the
it,
tribe-
but Ben's game is going decently well right now. I'm more worried
Yeah, I
for
know.
Adam over there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Next tribe.
The awkward tribe. So you've got Yul, Nick, and Wendell. I don't see them budging. Do you?
Yul, Nick, and Wendell are solid.
And then Parv and Michelle. But Parvati's got 4 fire tokens.
Yeah.
You should do something with those tokens. Get an idol or something.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, I would say Parvati's in big trouble. But honestly, if they were smart, they'd probably go for Yul. Yul is the bigger
How dare
threat
you?
there.
Don't put that out there.
I'm just saying, I would flip on Yul if I was those guys. He's more dangerous than Parv at this point.
I'm tired of all the old school people going. One of those new school assholes needs to get the hell on out of here. It's time.
I know. It's not fair.
No, it's not cool because they outnumbered them from the jump.
Yeah, it's becoming too predictable now.
Yeah. So, and then on the other tribe, I'd say Tony or Sandra would be the most vulnerable.
Yeah. Sandra has advantages.
She has an idol. I think it's good at one more tribal council.
Sandra has an idol for the next tribal, so I would put my money on Tony being the most vulnerable right now, which really sucks to say.
Next week.
I don't want to see Parvati go home. I don't want to see Yul go home. I don't want to see Tony go home. And Adam, whatever, I could take or leave. I like Adam. Adam's great.
Ben can go.
Adam's great. He's just having a sloppy season, kind of. So it's like, yeah, it's your time.
Yeah. Well, I'd say it's one of those 4, or 2 of those 4, probably going home. I think Wendell's tribe. Wendell has a really good tribe winning record. Like, he's only lost a couple tribe challenges. Like, when he got swapped to the 3 tribes on Ghost Island, his tribe just completely dominated because he was, like, with Chris Noble and Seabass and Laurel. So, they destroyed. And so, I think if Wendell's on your tribe, you have a good chance of winning. So, I think it would be the Tony Sandra or the Ben and Adam quadrangle that might be in trouble.
Yeah, I have a lot of confidence in Wendell's challenge ability.
Yeah.
He has that thing too where he seems to be able to bring the team together where like even whatever team he's on is stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I mean, he and Chris Noble did not like each other, but he was all cheering him on when they were on the same tribe, so.
Right. Yeah. Anything else come to mind? I pretty much threw the notes here.
Do you want to do MVPs and predictions?
Yeah,
and such?
I think we can put this one to bed. One more comment. Leave EDP says, Survivor gods save Tony from the advantage get-in.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He could be in trouble big time. Yeah, or Jeremy. Oof.
There's a lot of advantages in the game right now, and there's only going to be more. So
yeah,
you can only imagine that an advantage getting is around the corner.
Right? Another one. I wasn't, traumatized by the last one or anything.
Okay, so
we got screwed.
Who you got for MVP for this episode?
Probably Sophie.
Yeah, I mean, she killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, did she kill it.
You gotta pick someone different?
I mean, I'm gonna double down on Sophie as my official pick.
You could pick Sarah.
Let's throw honorable mentions to Sarah and Yul.
Yeah. That works for me.
Okay. And who you got to go home next week?
I'm gonna keep saying Ben.
Just gonna keep putting that out there, huh?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go with. Damn, it's all people we don't want to go home, but
don't say
there's 2 people going home next week, so you got to pick 2.
Yeah. Ben and Sandra.
Okay, I'm gonna say Adam and God, I don't want.
Don't do it. Don't say it. Don't put it out there.
How about Adam and Wendell?
That's a choice. Sure.
No, they're gonna win. They're gonna win, aren't they? They're gonna win the challenge.
Even if that tribe goes, I don't see how it's Wendell unless Michelle and Parv really launch an assault, an anti-Wendell assault, which they could do.
It's possible.
But I don't think Yule's a loyal. He's got a 4, and I don't see him turning on them.
But maybe if Yul hears about some of the some
of the shit that Wendell pulled.
Yeah, like some of the dating shenanigans he pulled with if Michelle.
What an asshole.
maybe
Wendell will be the asshole that Tony wasn't.
Yeah, maybe. You never know. Okay. I'm just gonna go with that. I don't think it, like, honestly, I think it's gonna be Adam and Tony, unfortunately. But I'm gonna say Adam and Wendell.
Okay. I mean, they can keep getting guys out, and we can take all these girls to the end.
Yeah. Let's get some guys.
Now.
Let's get some guys out of here. I mean, it was girls for a little while there, so it's fine.
Yeah, totally.
As long as my girl Denise is good.
It's all
Denise good.
Is fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Any last thoughts, final thoughts on the episode or anything?
No, it's another fun one. I'm getting used to losing the people, so whatever. We'll see him again. It's not the end of the world. So.
Leave EDP is possibly correcting us. Let's double check our logic here. Two vote outs. I thought the two winning tribes would pick who gets voted out.
I think he said the two losing tribes go to tribal council, but we can check the tape on that.
We're totally okay with saying, hey, we could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure I heard that only one tribe gets immunity, two tribes go to tribal council, two people get voted out.
I'm assuming they want to get rid of two more people to get it down to 13, but someone's coming back from the edge, so they need to get it down to 12.
Yeah, they need to merge. Someone comes back. Yeah, they're moving this thing along. Thanks for checking on that, though.
Yes.
Yeah. So what were we saying? We're
done.
We're done.
We're done.
All right, we're good. Cool beans. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. To break
double
down
elimination,
episode 6, possibly a double elimination. Give us a subscribe if you haven't already, a thumbs up. Follow us on Twitter at TV is our real mom. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Bye.